Hey! Welcome! I'm so glad that you're back here with me on Tam IELTS, and I'm going to start exercising by doing some jogging. Follow me. Hello. Hi, Tai Chi. And you know, if you don't love sports, and I think you've already guessed what the episode is about today, but if you don't love sports, you know, you can always find some joy in the whole topic to learn for the IELTS. Oh, it's cute, but no thank you. I got this one. I got this. I love my weights. And of course, today we're going to be talking a little bit about weights and also some sports, okay? Follow me to the studio and we're going to find out who the guest is. Have you ever heard of the term the carrot and the stick? We're not talking about food, guys. It's not about eating carrots with a knife or chopsticks, even though, yes, chopsticks may look like a stick. Today, we're going to be talking about the stick, some force, and we're also going to be talking about golf. You know, the stick with some balls, and there's going to be some force involved. And of course, who better to basically talk to us about golf than, of course, our professional golfer right here in Vietnam, and he's in the studio with me today. Let's welcome Nguyễn, Dương. Thank you so much for coming to the studio. Hello. How did you get, involved in the sport?
It all started about 16 years ago. My dad started first, and then he brought me to the range and made me hit some balls, and that's when I hooked up with golf.
Okay, to be honest, I know nothing about golf. I've never played it before. I don't watch golf. So let's have a little bit of a golf 101, okay? So for myself and also for the audience right here. Shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's this thing here? It's the golf bag.
It's a golf bag, like you see. We have 14 clubs. You cannot carry more than 14 clubs in a golf bag. With each club, you can hit one type of shot. I mean, one distance. The target of hitting golf balls into the hole of each round of golf is how to hit it through 18 holes with the least strokes possible. So you have this many clubs just to hit one ball into the holes.
And how many holes in one have you done?
I got 4.
You got 4 in your whole entire life?
Yeah, in my whole entire life up to now.
Wow. And a hole in one is basically, guys, a hole in one is when you hit one shot and then that one shot will get the ball into the hole right away, right? That's amazing. And how far was the distance of the hole?
Usually hole in one happens in par 3. So in a golf course, we have 3 kind of par. Par 3, par 4, and 5. So for par 3, you need 3 shots to tee it off until you put it in the hole. And par 4 is 4 shots, and par 5 is 5 shots. So hole in one means you tee it off and it's straight in. Usually it happens in par 3 because it's reaching distance for your first shot.
Yeah.
But for par 4 and 5, you cannot reach it for your first tee shot.
Yes. So in golf, I've heard people say that basically the ripe age for golf is about 30 to 40. Whereas in other sports, as you guys already know, the ripe age or the golden age for those sports is about 20 to 30. Why is there a difference for golf?
Golf is a sport, but compared to soccer and other sports that require a lot of physical activities, golf requires more on your focus. So with golf, I would rate golf on the physical side would be 15 to 20%, and the rest would go to your techniques and mental side. So that's why when people get older, their technique is better, their mental is stronger, their strategy is better. So with golf, usually they pick around 30 to 40s.
Wow.
When their physical is less competitive, but their experience is much better.
So when it comes to golf, right, it's such a new sport in Vietnam and nobody's ever been a professional golfer before. How is it like trying to build your career in Vietnam? Were there difficulties?
Yes, when I pick up golf and along the way, I get a lot of difficulties picking up golf as a profession. Because like you said, golf is very new. When I started, there's only like 50 to 100 people playing golf, and most of them would play as just a hobby or weekend getaway, only myself and a couple more kids that would like to take up golf as a profession later on. So we don't have a role model to look up to. We don't know which way to go, who to come to when you need professional help, which tournaments to play, where to go. It's a lot of things. So the main things that we do to develop now golf in Vietnam is the professional help.
So what kind of professional help did you receive?
Mostly from my dad.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm lucky that I got a dad like that. He showed me the way. He showed me how the system go in America, like Tiger Woods, for example. He went to high school here. We went to college in Stanford, play in U.S. amateur, go to golf school in Butch Harmon and stuff like that.
Wow. So does your family support you? And what influence or what kind of support has your family given towards your career?
I got totally support from my dad. My mom was very much against it. My mom would always want me to go to be a teacher,
a lawyer,
a lawyer, doctor, whatsoever. But my dad say, no, you just do whatever you like. You got to love it, So do something that no one does before. It's good. Okay,
so I know you have 3 loves, as per our conversation before the shooting. He has 3 loves, and the first one, guess what it is? It is family.
Families,
right?
yeah.
And then golf is only your 3rd love. And you have a 2nd love. What's the 2nd love?
It's my country, Vietnam. I was born and raised here, so you got to do something for the country. And then your family, your kids in the futures, you're gonna be here 1,000 years more. So you got to do something for the country.
And what's that thing for you to do for the country?
Right now, my priority would be golf. I got to develop golf. More and more young people that take up golf put Vietnam on the golf map, and I'll see how in the future. Not only golf, but in sport in general.
Let's continue to our next section. It's going to be the yay or nay section, and we're going to ask you a series of questions. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right. Next up is yay or nay. We'll be right back. Okay? Don't go anywhere. Okay, ready? This is the yay or nay section, so we're going to start now. Number 1, golf is a lonely sport. Lonely sport. Vietnam has great golf potential. Yeah. I'm a competitive person. Yeah. I'm quite looks conscious when it comes to my golf fashion. You are. And okay, so you're looks conscious when it comes to your fashion on the golf course. Now, what does this mean?
I think appearance tells a lot about yourself. If you're tidy, your clothes got to be tidy. You look professional. That means you always have your things gathered and prepared.
Can we ever expect you to be in flip-flops and a tank top?
Tank top maybe sometimes, but no flip-flops.
No flip-flops for you. So you're not a flip-flops guy. Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Small waist is better than a normal waist. I prefer a smaller waist.
Waist, you mean?
Waistline, yeah.
Yeah.
You prefer a smaller waist. And why a smaller waist is better than a normal waist?
That means you are active.
So you like people that are active. Are your friends mostly active?
No, some are active, some are not.
Yeah.
But yeah, I still prefer active people.
All right, thank you so much for yays or nays. And of course, give me a high five, because we are done with the first section. We're going to go on to a challenge. You're extremely competitive, and I hope that you're competitive as well, because one of our people has had great timing when it comes to this challenge. Are you ready?
Okay, we'll try.
Okay, all right.
This is the IELTS Marathon. With the first challenge, you have to look for 3 items: the passports, the key, the confirmation letter. After that, you have to be ready for a perfect photo shoot. Then perfect fingerprints. Moving on, series of challenges will be ready for you at the monitor. And the last and surely the hardest one, you will have to hide away from the spotlight, collecting 6 characters, then form a word. The IELTS Marathon is ready right now.
Welcome back to the studio, and this is the Marathon Challenge. And of course, the contender today is no other than the competitive contender.
Hi, Phoebe again.
Mr. Dương, hello. Are you excited and are you ready?
Very excited and ready.
Do you think it's going to be more difficult or easier than golf?
Definitely more difficult.
Why is that so?
I've been training golf for 16 years, but not ready for this.
Not ready for the IELTS, right?
Yeah.
I know you took another test before and not the IELTS, so this is going to be your first IELTS experience. Let's talk about your experience afterwards, all right?
Okay.
But now you got to close your eyes because your challenge will be ready. Don't open them. Keep your promise. Close them, close them. May we have the mess ready? All right, since you're a really calm person, please open your eyes to your calm, tidy mess.
Okay. So what do I got here?
Now you gotta find your passport, you gotta find your keys, and you also need to find your registration letter.
Okay, so it's all in here?
Somewhere in the field.
We'll start now or?
Start now.
Okay. My
What do you think of that
passport.
bear? Isn't it cute? We put on the shades especially for you.
Okay. Key. Okay.
Oh, and it paid off. Okay, you got one. Two more to go.
Not in here.
You sure you don't want to wear those shades? Those might help you. Am I distracting you from looking for things by asking you questions?
A little bit.
A little bit? You want me to continue to distract you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can you pose with that umbrella?
Yeah.
Give us your best golf pose. To the camera, not the butt to the camera. The face.
Okay. It's gotta be in my bag, some things.
Maybe.
I saw you guys doing something to my bags, you know? Okay, passport.
I will know right away when the sound is not right.
What other space do we have in here? Only 3 places?
Yeah. Maybe the key is hanging in the umbrella.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Okay, sometimes the sound is really muted.
Okay, I got it. Ready to go for IELTS.
All right, ready to go. Can you give me a high five?
Okay. Big high five. Much harder than golf.
Ow! Ow! Can you do it again? A little more
This is
softer?
more gentle one.
There you
Okay.
go. All right, photo shoot challenge. Off you go.
Okay, photo shoot challenge.
All right, it's 10 seconds. 7, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Oh, it's acceptable. I see a little bit of
acceptable?
leg, but it's acceptable.
Yeah, I gotta go like this.
It's acceptable. All right.
Okay,
go on,
what's up next?
go on to the next one.
Fingerprints?
challenge. You gotta get all of your 10 fingers printed, and then you gotta dry them off.
More.
Have you ever gotten your fingers printed before?
Okay.
All right, you are on to the next challenge. All right, your first challenge is basically the headphone challenge, where you're going to listen to something and
Okay.
you're going to answer the questions. Are you ready? All right,
Ready.
headphone challenge. Off you go.
You will hear a guide at an outdoor sculpture park talking to a group of visitors.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Anglia Sculpture Park. Now, let me just tell you a bit about what you can see in the sculpture park. If you look at your map, you'll see the visitor centre, where we are now, at the bottom, just by the entrance. Since we only have an hour, you might not be able to get right around the park, but you can choose to visit some of the highlights. You might like to take a look at the Joe Tremaine sculptures, which are displayed on this side of the upper lake, just behind the education centre and near the bridge. They're really impressive, but please remember not to let your children...
Our first one is 1E.
It's absolutely correct. Next, answer sheet challenge. You gotta find one mistake in the list.
13.
Section 2, 13, and why is that a mistake?
U. It's correct letter from A to M, so U is way after that.
Way after that, now is that correct? You're on to the next one. So now you gotta answer true, false, or not applicable to 1, 2, or 3.
Okay,
what do you think?
So 1 is true.
You're on. Now you gotta find synonyms to the underlined words.
Okay, so I will go with problem would be difficulties.
Yeah, problems, difficulties. What's the second one? If you ever need my support, you just need to ask.
Okay, so what do you think about rise? Synonyms?
What do I think about rise? I think there is a synonym that starts with an I.
Increase.
Increase.
Okay.
And then you got one more.
The maps below show display.
Display for show. You're on to the next one. Pronunciation challenge. Now what this is that you gotta read the phrase and our voice recognition system is going to tell us whether the letters are the exact letters that you read. So you gotta get one full sentence absolutely correct before we can move on, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's start.
The dream of many people is to make lots of money and retire from work. They spend the rest of their days walking around beautiful parks with finely cut lawns. The first recorded game of golf was played in 1456. Golf is played on specially designed course consisting of a series of number holes.
You got it correct. You're on to the final challenge. Can you please step up here?
Okay. This off?
That's off.
Okay.
And you're up. Here. Okay, so the final challenge is called the sneak of shame. And the rationale for the sneak of shame is for you to use your sports skills, athletic skills. Hopefully we'll see great athletics move. And to basically you're going to maneuver around lights, not get the shadow into the light, and pick up some letters, and then we're going to try to form a word together.
Sound like a movie.
Hopefully you can be the movie star. You'll star in it.
We'll start one day.
All right, so sneak of shame, we're coming up next. Stay tuned. This is the sneak of shame, and of course, our contestant will have to go through all the lights and make sure that your shadow does not get into the light. And of course, you're going to be experiencing the magical lights, yeah? All right, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, can we have the magical lights, please? Okay, ready, get set, go. Two. Now he's gone for a 3. Can he get the E? Can he get the E? He got the 4th one. 2 more to go. Careful, careful. No shadow, and he got the 5th one. Okay, last one. Make sure you don't get any shadows. Oh, you got a shadow. Unfortunately, you gotta put back the letters. This game is not easy, guys. Not easy at all. He got an I, and he's going for it for the end. And he's got the last one. That was an amazing performance. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're one of the best performers for this challenge so far. So now I'm gonna hold 3 and you can hold 3. And your task is to basically form a word. You gotta have them all. When we give you 6, you gotta use them all. So there's an E. There is also an N. There is also an I. Oh, what can this be? There's an O, there's a V, and there is a C. What letter can this be? It's so close, so close.
Novice. Novice. Yeah?
Yeah, you got it, novice.
Novice.
Novice. There we go.
That's the hardest part for
There
me.
we go. We got it. Novice. Novice is the word that
Okay.
is used to indicate a person who is just starting out in a certain field and they are the beginner of a certain. Thanks so much for playing on the show today. You know, it's going to be an amazing opportunity if you have a chance to introduce to our novices in the next section.
Definitely.
And our novices are going to be novices of idioms, because the next section is going to be the idioms of the week section. So if you were a golf player, what is a good idiom for golf?
Keep your head down, keep your eyes on the ball.
Keep your eyes on the ball and keep your head down. Meaning to be humble.
Yeah,
And to be
humble,
focused?
Focus, never lose your concentrations, you know, have definitely chief aim in life.
All right, guys. Coming up next is basically the idioms of the week section. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Idiom of this week. To keep one's eye on the ball. To remain alert. To keep one's attention focused on the ball or on the matter at hand. For example, we try to keep our eye on the ball during the entire reading test. Next part of 8 IELTS, we will bring Tulin MU, a massive fan of Manchester United, to the start of IELTS. Go! Let's hit the real-time IELTS speaking test. And in the studio, our IELTS expert, Oliver Holmes, will be ready to provide you on the good tips needed for your IELTS test. You cannot miss a second of the show. Stay glued to the screen for the next part of 8 IELTS right now.
All right, welcome back to the studio. And of course, it's your favorite section. We always have the expert tips, we have expert opinions, and we also have your favorite videos of the week. We also have celebrities doing IELTS. And of course, you love it all because it's everything delicious concentrated onto this IELTS stage. And of course, to help us with all of that amazing information, we have with us right here the IELTS expert. Hi, Oliver.
Hi,
Welcome back to the studio after a while away.
good to see you again. Thank you for inviting me.
Great to see you. So, who do you think we'll have on the IELTS, Stars Do IELTS section this week?
Okay, surprise me.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a girl. But before we get to her, let's talk a bit about sports. So what's your favorite sports?
Well, to be honest, I'd have to say that I'm not a massive fan of sports. I do love going to the gym, so I guess that's my favorite kind of exercise. So I guess it'd be much more individual sports like swimming or rowing. But in terms of team sports, I've never been a massive fan of them. So,
Really? Why so?
I'm really not sure. I don't know. Maybe it's different strokes for different folks. Some people like team sports, some people don't. For me, I kind of enjoy individual sports because while I'm doing it, I can think about something else.
Absolutely.
Two things at the same time.
Are you a big soccer fan? I mean, football fan?
Thank you for the correction. It might surprise you, but I'm not, despite the fact that I'm English. I'm not a huge fan of football. Yeah, I'm so sorry.
But you know what? Vietnamese people are great, massive football fans. And our girl today is also, she's known for football also. Her name is Linh MU. MU in Vietnamese MU, which is Manchester United. Yeah, so she's famous for wearing the Manchester United uniform.
Okay, I should say that moo in England is the sound a cow makes.
A cow makes.
Yeah.
Maybe you should tell her that after she finishes her, her test. But all right, Tu Linh, we're gonna go right next to you and show us your performance this time.
Good morning. Can I ask your name, please?
My name is Tu Linh.
Thank you. Can I see your identification? Thank you. Now I'm going to ask you some general questions about yourself. Tell me about the use of bicycles in your country.
About the use of bicycle in my country, I would like to divide it to 3 groups. The first group is children and students who have not permission of drive. And the second group is someone who had a limited battery. And the last group is people use bicycle like an exercise.
How popular are bicycles in your country?
Honestly, I think they are not so popular. Some people use bicycle like exercise in the weekend, but it's quite difficult to see somebody use bicycle to travel. For now, I don't think that bicycle is a convenient transportation.
Are they used more now than the past?
Honestly, for now, I don't use a bicycle. I have one when I was a children. For now, since I have a lesson of driving, I enjoy really touch a bicycle. But maybe after this test, I will consider to buy one for use that like exercise.
Now I'd like you to talk about a topic. You have 1 minute to take notes. Here's some paper and a pen. I'd like you to describe a well-known person from the world of sports or films that you would like to meet.
Yes.
So that's the minute up. Now you have 2 minutes to speak. Please start.
In my list, there are so many people I want to meet and sometime with. But if you ask me about who I want to meet the most, answer is Marcus. He is a German professional footballer. I think anyone who like to watching football will know his name. Not because he's good looking, but because he's talent too. At 5 years old, he already joined the team of his hometown, and at 7 years old, he joined the team of Borussia Dortmund. And now Marco playing as attacking for Borussia Dortmund and Germany national team. In my opinion, Marcus is a good footballer because he always running outly up and down the side, and he have a good vision. And I like the way he playing football. It's so creative. But I like him the first and the most important reason because he's humblest. Even though Marco always try his best, but he always doesn't want to talk too much about his performance. This is why I think he have not a hater. So yes, if I have a chance to meet famous people, so my answer is Marco Ross.
Thank you. Now I'm just going to ask you some more general questions about role models in the sports world. Do sportsmen and women make good role models for young people?
In my opinion, sportsmen and sportswomen can be an excellent role model for young people. They can make significant impact to young generation, and the good image can encourage the young people to build up their healthy lifestyle.
Are we too concerned with the sports star rather than the sports themselves?
Honestly, I think that is the truth because there are so many people, especially teenagers, they have an idol as a sport player, but they just like them because the sport player have a good looking, but they don't know too much about the sport itself. Before like some sport player, they have to know something basic about the sport of the sport player they play.
That's the end of the speaking test. Thank you very much.
So Oliver, do you like a sport player because of his or her looks more than his or her skills?
I can't say that I do, but it sounds like she does.
So what do you think about Tu Ling's performance?
Yeah, I like the way that she keeps on speaking all the time. Again, I don't hear very long pauses or hesitation, so I think she speaks pretty clearly throughout the whole thing. I didn't hear too many words mispronounced, so that was good. She did hesitate a little bit, and there were a few mistakes with discourse markers and a little bit of repetition. In terms of her grammar, yeah, she used a range of sentences. Again, she was using a good range of relative clauses and conditionals, but there were, quite common mistakes, and she does need to pay a bit more attention to that. For example, she said, if I have a chance to meet a famous people, it should be a famous person. She also invented a new English word, humblesque.
Humblesque, yeah.
Which I really like. So,
Yeah.
it's not actually an English word, so I wouldn't recommend that people use it, but it kind of shows you how English can be creatively use to make new words, like, for example, using the word aholic to mean addicted. So humble-less, I think she means humble.
All right, so let's see what she thinks, huh? All right, Tuling, what do you think about your performance?
Oh my God, I don't know why I decided to do this test, or I think that I did it not very well, but maybe it's not bad.
And I'll tell you a secret after I ask her this question. But so, how many points do you think you got?
Oh, I don't understand about the IELTS score, but let's make a guess. Maybe the 6 point is not a very bad point.
And now I need to tell you a secret. Okay, so Tuling, she actually learned French. That's where that's probably where humble-less came from.
Mais je ne comprends pas le français.
Oui, oui, non, non. Bonjour, monsieur.
That's so perfect. You're fluent, right?
I actually spoke French when I was 5.
Okay.
I did. And I think, I don't want to mention that anymore because now people expect me to speak French, which I don't anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, so she actually learned French and she had never had a formal English education. She only learned English through watching videos.
And I think that's great. I think that's such a good way of learning English. Parents might tell you off for watching TV programs and films in English, but I think it's great. It's part of the immersion in the English language that you need to get a high mark. And I've met people who have got astonishingly good English skills, which have just been gained by watching TV shows.
All right, so Tuling, how did you start learning English and how long have you learned English?
I'm learning French since I was a child, so my foreign language is French, is not English. And I never have been in an English class, and it's the first time in my life I speak a lot of English like that. And I'm just learning English by myself, by watching film or by listening music, so I feel a little nervous when I do this test.
I think it's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, I was very impressed
Very
when
impressive.
I found out.
I wish that I found learning languages that simple. She's done very well.
But I think, if you have the love for the movies or the love for the music, then it's a lot easier because you will just memorize the lines if you learn English.
And learning the language in context, I find, like, if you read the lyrics of a song and you learn the lyrics, then you'll be able to remember and use that language in other situations.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely very helpful, but I'm still extremely impressed by her.
All right, so let's see what, do you want to hear a taste of her French?
Sure, absolutely, absolument.
All right, Tuling, can you show us a little bit of your French?
Bonjour à tous, je m'appelle Tuling et ça c'est la première fois que je passe en tête dans les concerts et j'espère qu'on va faire un autre programme mais par français.
All right, so it's great to hear a little bit of French in an English-speaking show. So when it comes to sports, are there any good idioms to remember?
Sure. There are always idioms. There are always idioms related to everything. So one of the idioms would be maybe to get off to a good start, or perhaps to win by a mile. If you win by a mile, then it means that you won with a lot of goals and the other team got none. Apart from that, I think it's really important to remember to use topic-specific vocabulary. So if you're talking about sports, I'd expect you to be using lots of connected vocabulary, like talk about the team, the players, the goalie, the referee, taking a penalty. This is the sort of vocabulary I'd recommend people add to a mind map, and they build this topic-specific vocabulary for lots of different topics.
Absolutely, some great, amazing tips. And continuing on to the tips, we're going to go on to our next section, the writing section. And we're going to start off the writing section with a clip of some of the tips. All right, guys, coming up next is the writing section, and you're going to see some writing tips on your screen. So take down some notes if you have a pen and paper there. Check it out. All right, so when it comes to the writing task, number 1, let's talk about the introductory paragraph. What are some of the things to note?
Okay, I think it's a good idea to remember that pretty much all task 1 questions are going to need the same structure for the first paragraph, the introductory paragraph, and that is really 2 sentences. The first one should paraphrase the question, and it's very important to change the word order, the word forms when you do that. If you copy the entire question, then that's not your English, and the examiner will probably ignore it. So just if I were you, I'd just practice rewriting, changing word order, word forms for that first sentence. Another thing that you should not forget to do is to include the subject, the units, and the time, if there is one. So just to include as many of those details about the basic idea of the graph or the table or the process or illustration you see in front of you. Moving on from the first sentence to the second sentence, which is the overview, and this is absolutely key to getting a good mark in the IELTS test. So a good overview, a clear overview, should contain 3 to 4 points, and they are the key trends, differences, similarities, any exceptions in the data or the graph or the graphics that you see in front of you. So remember, don't include any key data, any specific data in that introductory overview, but do include 3 or 4 points. So for example, A, B, and C all increased over the period, while D decreased and no data was recorded for F.
So is it safe to say that you should only write about what's really clearly stated in the diagram or the graph or the table or the pie chart that you see in task number 1?
Well, I think it's just important to give a person who hasn't seen the graph or the illustration a basic picture, a basic summary of what they're going to see. So it's kind of like the elevator pitch. It's the sort of thing that you tell somebody if you're going from the 1st floor to the 20th floor. You've got 30 seconds to tell them what it's about. So you'd keep it quite short and simple, and you'd pick, what happens at the beginning and what happens at the end. But don't talk about all the things that happen in the middle. Don't talk about any of that specific information.
Absolutely. Some great tips there. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And of course, we're going to go on to our favorite section of the week. I think it's my favorite, and I'm sure you enjoy it as well.
Cool.
It's our Voice of the Week section. And this week's Voice of the Week is Huy Phương Dao. Huy Phương Dao, if you are there, you're on next. So stay glued to your screen. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Phương, and today I'm going to share with you about the sport that I would like to take up in the future. Now, there are a lot of sports that would grab my interest, such as cycling, fencing, or swimming, but there is this one sport in particular that I'm really keen on learning, which is archery. Now, why archery, you may ask? Is because I was quite inspired by the English longbowmen during the Battle of Crécy or Agincourt. Now, in those battles, the English were greatly outnumbered by the French, and the longbowmen were key to their victories against the French. With the longbows, an army mainly comprised of commoners can defeat a much larger armies comprised of heavily armed nobilities. So that's my first reason to choose archery. Now, for the second reason is because archery helps me improve my strength, my focus, and calmness. It takes great strength to draw a longbow, and it takes a greater focus and calmness to be able to aim accurately. And finally, or primarily, it's because archery is just fun. I like it when you pull the string back, release it, and send the arrow flying in the air. And when the arrow hits the bullseye, it's such an amazing feeling of accomplishment. So that's my reasons to choose archery. So for now, I'm currently practicing with my cheap bow and blunt arrows. But in the future, I hope when I will be able to afford the time, money, and space to be able to take up archery more seriously.
I think he's a sharpshooter. Yeah, he shot his conversation topic in a very interesting direction, and also now he's practicing with his toy bow and toy.
That's so patronizing.
Toy
I think it's excellent. What I like about it is that it's such an unusual topic, and I think we should encourage people to do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, we love hearing about what makes a person individual in the West, and so for me, choosing a topic like archery is just fascinating. It's really unusual. It's not football.
What do you think? What do you like about his delivery of speech?
Well, I mean, he's obviously a very strong student. He continues speaking all the time. I think the thing that I like most about his language is the vocabulary he uses, which is sustained at a very high level of complexity. He talks about, English longbowmen, which is a fascinating part of history. They were key to a victory, an army mostly consisting of commoners ruled by nobility. And when the arrow hits the bullseye, it's an amazing sense of accomplishment. It's really, really good sustained language and very unusual, very idiomatic, some of it.
Very poetic.
So, yeah, very good. Yeah, and a really nice range of grammar with just occasional mistakes in the grammar. So yeah, I think he's a strong candidate.
All right, so let's recap a little bit. What are some of the idioms that people should take away after this episode?
Well, actually, to come back to the guy who's just been on, to hit a bullseye, meaning to hit a home run, succeeding in what you're doing. To win by a mile. Win by a mile. Yes, agree, completely agree. All right, that's some great summary right there. And of course, guys, don't forget to use sports-related terms if you're talking about sports. So for example, a goal or a referee, players, teams, balls, the net, the field, all of those types of common sports vocabulary. So vocabulary should be very, very topic specific. Don't forget that, okay? All right, thanks so much, Oliver. Thank you very much.
And hey, but before we go, I want to ask you a question. Have you ever taken a video of yourself?
Not willingly.
Not willingly. So you were forced. Somebody held your hand to take the video.
Yeah, they have to make me. I'm not the most photogenic person in the world.
What do your students say when they see you on TV?
I prefer not to ask them about it. I'll punish my students severely if they mention me being on TV.
So guys, if you're unlike Oliver and you're more comfortable being in front of the camera, or you want to practice being comfortable being in front of the camera and talking to somebody, make sure you take a video, post it on YouTube, post it on Facebook, send the link to us, and maybe you'll be the next voice of the week next week. All right, so don't forget that. And guys, don't be camera shy. I was camera shy when I got into this industry, but now I'm not. So you guys will not be camera shy after you practice. Same thing with speaking, okay? That's why go onto our Facebook, go onto our YouTube page, and send us your videos. Hey, I'm not really good at sports at all. I can't play soccer, I can't play tennis, I can't do tricks with these balls. The only things I'm interested in when I look at these balls is how they bounce. I like this one better because it bounces a lot better than this one. But the moral of the story is no matter how you feel about sports, it is a very important topic during the IELTS exam. And of course, it's also one very important entertainment topic in our lives because our whole life is we see a lot of sports games all over, the media. So whatever your point of view on sports is, find inspiration and love it wherever you can. For now, that's it. I'll see you again soon. Ciao. Woohoo! As you can see, sports can also be a good form of stress reliever. So, take those balls, take that gym attire, and relieve stress. For now, I'm back in my game. Woo! Yeah.